What's happening?
This is podcast episode number 2 for our groups, This I Believe, FYE Essays. And it's my essay. I'm Caeley. Well, y'all ain't gonna talk.
Who?
So, I believe in freedom of religion. So, I don't have any religious affiliations whatsoever, and that sucks living in the Bible Belt. That is absolutely terrible to not believe in Jesus, but I believe in what I see and the facts surrounding it. And so this belief that I have, or lack thereof, has caused strain in many of the relationships that I've had throughout my childhood and present day. So, I spent a lot of my life with my mom in church. We, I was born around Colorado, and I was kind of raised there a little bit and brought down here, so moving down south.
Big change.
Yeah, but my mom was born and raised in Arkansas, so she has a very heavy, Christian upbringing.
Religious background?
Yeah, she's very, she has always gone to church her entire life. I did not, because we were in a military base, and so we traveled too much to attend a church every Sunday, so I didn't really grow up around that as much as my mom did. But I have lived in Arkansas for most of my life, and so, the influences of, the Bible Belt has had on my mom never really quite stuck with me, because I wasn't as affected by it as she was, because I wasn't around it as much.
Yeah.
Because even, spending most of my life in Arkansas, every summer, I spent in New York, so I was kind of half-ass not in the Bible Belt. But, so most people around here, most of my friends I've had, obviously they went to church, some type of church, the Catholic church, the Baptist church, but I never really did. So my mom found out one day that I didn't have the same religious affiliations that she did.
Let me guess. She freaked out?
She flipped her shit completely. I thought the whole world was going to come to an end. I thought she was going to whip my ass. I thought they were going to bury me right then and there. So I used to journal when I was a kid. I had all these journals and stuff because I didn't have a phone growing up. I had journals. So I wrote about it in there, and she read through them.
She went in your journal?
She read through all my journals.
You gotta get the journal with the lock on it, bro.
No, she got that shit. So she told me, she sat me down after she read it, and she told me, I never thought I would regret having children until now.
She said that?
She said that. She told me she regretted having
How old were you when this happened?
Oh gosh, I was probably 11 or 12.
11 or 12.
Mm-hmm. So, could you imagine being, a preteen child and having your mom tell you that?
Listen, when I was around that age, I was bad. I probably would have smacked her.
No,
I'm just playing.
Oof.
No, that's different.
Mom
That's
would
fucked
my
up.
ass. Oh yeah, and it got worse from there. It really did. At that point, I had turned to my childhood best friend. Her name is Julie. Julie was born and raised in a very strict Catholic household. So I told her, Mama told me she regretted having me because I wasn't Christian. So Julie apparently thought, what if you were Catholic? So she decided to take me to Catholic church. So that was terrible. I don't know why I thought she would be, accepting of me, but she was not. So I turned to my brother, my big brother, and he was really supportive. He was religious. He wasn't as religious, though, you know what I mean? He wasn't... Yeah.
Did he go to church, or was he just believed in it, but he didn't...
believed in it because my mom believed in it, that...
Is he the oldest child?
Mm-hmm.
That's why?
Yeah, we live with my step family, so there's technically 4 of us, but I only have, one sibling.
Yeah.
So there's my step siblings, and then there's my actual brother. And my step siblings, they were born and raised in Jonesboro. So they're Christian, they're Baptist, they haven't really had much exposure to anything that wasn't that.
Yeah.
So, and I remember we took them to New York with us, and that was absolutely terrible. That was the worst thing, taking a bunch of country bumpkins to the north.
Country bumpkins?
Oh, yeah. They said, y'all got sweet tea?
Nope.
No, they do not. But anyways, so that was terrible. But as I said, like, it got a lot worse with my mom, like, our relationship.
Was it like just with your mom? Was it like other people like in your family like that, or?
My grandma lives in New York, so she doesn't really have any religious affiliation, but she didn't quite know that this was going on.
Okay.
Because I didn't really like talking to my grandma about like conflicts I was having with my mom, because it wasn't my mom's mom, it was my dad's mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I didn't want her to like attempt to mess up my mom's custody or anything. Like, I didn't, because she's tried before. My grandma's absolutely batshit crazy. Like, she's called DHS on us for like stuff that she's made up in her head. Like, she's absolutely crazy. So
I learned this in I think I learned in psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Is it called like false
memory?
False memory.
Something. Like, no, she would just come up with some like, I would be sad that day, and she'd be like, your mom's beating you, like, I'm calling DHS. Like, it was just absolutely nothing that I had said. It was that, like, she was just crazy. So.
And, like, with your, the strain with your relationship with you and your mother, do you feel like religion was the only factor that played into it, or do you think there was multiple things, but religion was the fuel to the fire, so to speak?
There were a couple of other things. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a badass kid. I did do some dumb shit, and around the time that this happened, it kind of piled on to that. So we're gonna get real personal. I was sexually assaulted around this time, and my mom I was the youngest person he had assaulted. He had assaulted like 14 other people, and so my mom they asked her if she wanted to press charges because I was the youngest one, and she's like, no, he doesn't deserve to be in jail.
What?
So, yeah, no, I know. She didn't know that he had raped me. She just thought that I was being stupid. Like, she just thought that I was talking to an older guy.
Oh.
And so she's like, he doesn't deserve to be in jail. So she basically got my rapist out of going to prison. And so I did resent her for that a lot. And then the religious part, you know, her saying that she regretted having me. She even told me, she's like, I don't want to be in heaven while I watch you burn in hell. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's just kind of, yeah, so a lot of this kind of piled on throughout the years. And, you know, like, my brother was he was pretty much like the only stable part of my household that I had. And he, as soon as he turned 18, threatened to take custody of me because it got so bad with my mom. But it did get better over the years. I do kind of lie to her. My mom, like, forced me to go to church, and she took me to this Christian conference, and they were like, stand up if you suddenly believe in God. So I was like, ding, 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 I have an idea. And I stood up. And mom cried, and they took me to the hotel, they ordered pizza and ice cream and, like, all this stuff. And she's like, oh, my baby, believe in Jesus, I'll be in heaven with you. So I got fake baptized, and, you know, there was still a little bit of, like, conflicts that we had. Like, I support marriage equality and all that. She did not. So we have an unwritten rule that we just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And as I've grown up, like, I'm not home ever. Like, I'm never home. And if I am home, it's at like 2 a.m. when everybody's asleep. So I don't really see her. So another unwritten rule, like, if we see each other, we're not going to talk politics. We're just going to, you know, how's your day? How have you been?
Yeah.
So I thought that, like, that was part of my childhood conflicts and stuff. And present day, my most recent one was my ex-boyfriend. That's the most recent one. He, very southern, very, you know, patriotic. I have a Confederate flag in my bedroom type.
Trump?
Oh, yeah. He bought a MAGA hat.
Jeez.
It's still in the back of my car because I took it and I hid it from him. But, I have never given it back. He's not getting it back. Nobody should ever have that. So we dated, and before we started dating, I told him, I was like, I'm not religious, ever. I'm never going to be. He's like, that's fine. So I thought I could date him, you know?
Yeah.
It was not fine. 6 months into the relationship, he said, you don't love me because you're not willing to change for me.
You shouldn't have to change yourself.
No, I said a big ol' fuck you. I was like, you don't love me because you don't accept me for who I am. Like, that's what I said. So, you know, there was crying, there was whatever. I told him he could walk home. He stayed the night. About a year, we dated another year after that. So a whole year and 6 months, he and I argued over that. And right before college, like a week before college started, I broke up with him because he kept pressing me. And I just wanted to take a break at first just to think about it, but he kept like pressing me and talking about how Jesus wanted us to be together and how this is God's destiny. I was like, nope, sorry, we're breaking up. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't. It was terrible. So I did have a lot of like resentment of religious symbols and affiliations growing up, and I still kind of do. Like, I want everybody to be able to coexist and believe what they want to believe in.
Yeah.
And I fully, like, absolutely adore you if you have religious affiliations that brings you peace of mind, and
Yeah, like,
I'm glad that you can have that, but just know that I won't, and you cannot make me have the same belief as you.
yeah, like, if I accept you, the least you can do is accept me for who I am.
Yeah. Like,
I don't care what you're doing. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Like, I'm dating somebody now, and he's really nice, and he does believe in a God. It's not really Christian or anything. He's, like, agnostic. He believes there's something, but...
Yeah, I understand.
And he kind of asked me, he's like, what if I wanted you to go to church? I was like, I would go to church, but just know I'm not going to pay attention. Like, if that makes you happy and you want me to be there for your religious exploration of whatever, that's fine. I'll be there for you. I'm not going to pay attention, though. I'm sorry. I'm not. I will doze right off, and I'll be like, how's church, baby? Like, I'm glad you had a good time. I'm going to go take a nap. Like, what are we having for lunch? I'm just not going to pay attention to anything like that. But I do like that he does talk to me about this stuff.
He's open about it.
Yeah, he's very, and I told him, he's like, so you just don't believe in anything? I was like, nope. He goes, okay, that's fine. And that was it. That was literally it. I've never had that happen.
Dude.
Never had that happen. Where somebody's like, okay, cool, like, and just moved on. But yeah, I mean, that was still some resentment, but not as much as I've kind of grown and matured. That, you know, I wasn't like, fuck Jesus. No, I'm just kind of like, you can have your Jesus, but it's not mine. Like, I just... But yeah, that was kind of, you know, my garbage.